What is this? Current state of Wuthering Waves.
I've come to learn.
Bro, I'm gonna just say this before I watch anything. I 100% feel like people just forget constantly what gacha games are like. It's like this. I'm not talking about like what I haven't watched Smack's video, so I don't know, right? But I'm just talking about like what I've seen in like the years I've been in the gacha space. It's literally like this. Every gacha game we play has major patch, and then dead, major patch, and then this like repeats, right? This repeats. But every time, everybody's like, best game ever! Woo! This shit sucks! It's dead! EOS! Never coming back! Wait! Best game ever! And then they repeat the cycle, the fan base, over and over. When are they gonna realize it's a fucking cycle and you're just fucking cycling the same nonsense you say every time? That's kind of like pointless. Everybody that's saying Wuwa's dead and like gonna EOS, bro, just wait for the next major patch. You'll be glazing the fuck out of New Federation and whatever characters come out there. And then when 3.x goes into a dead patch, you'll be like, oh, Wuwa's EOS again. It's dead. What the fuck? Nobody's talking about it. Like, it's so fucking stupid. Everybody just goes through the cycle. Like, I swear to God, gacha communities have like goldfish memory. Like, they forget that this is the cycle every time, and it happens every fucking year. Let's be real, 3.x is not gonna hit as hard as 2.x. Regardless of what you say, right? Can you say New Federation is going to not be more hype than Wuwa has been for the last 2 patches? No way. New Federation's obviously going to be way more hype, right? People are going to be back on board, and they're going to be fucking... 3.x isn't even New Fed? Oh, then what's 3.x? We don't know. Chisa's area. I thought we were going to New Federation next. High school? High school, college? What the fuck does that even mean? The academy area. Oh, well, whatever the fuck that means. Either way, my whole point is, right, at the end of the day, whatever people are feeling right now, the game being slow, not having events, and not much going on, bro, the second we get to like the next major patch, we're gonna be back on like, oh my god, what? Let's go! They listened. They gave us another amazing patch. Like, bro, I know it's gonna happen. I feel like tons of Wuwa CCs are also doing this, where it's like, oh, Kuro, is Wuwa EOS? Like, we're kind, man, it's a little slow. Wuwa's kind of dead. I feel like it's a coping mechanism by like expecting very little and making it feel like it's really bad, but then when Kuro does like, you know, does like a decent job and it's really good, it'll be like, oh my god, devs listen, Wuwa is so back, here we go, let's go. Like, this is the classic like a negative cycle into positive cycle to make the positive cycle feel 10 times better. Whereas like if you're just like level-headed throughout, then like this bump up might not feel as good because you knew it was coming. So like I think this is just like the coping mechanism some people have with their gacha cycles. By like telling themselves it's extra bad, when it becomes extra good, then it makes them feel better. Have you heard this was literally the finale patch of Renesita, and yet it's so dry and filler? I think anybody that thinks Wuwa is really dry and is gonna EOS are the dumbest motherfuckers. Anybody with a brain knows, you know, maybe it's dry right now, but it's fucking, you know, it's all of these live service games pretty much just go through a cycle of fucking big patches into dry patches. It's just inevitable, you know? Like, I can't think of a game where pretty much throughout the year they only have banger patches forever, you know? Most of the major ones are very like big patch, downturn, big patch, downturn, you know? The real problem with Wuwa that escapes the hype dry cycle is the lack of endgames. ZZ kind of mog there. Are they? I don't really know because I haven't been able to do the new ZZZ endgame because it's fucking locked behind Temple. But like Deadly Assault, I guess. Maybe if I got to try the new ZZ endgame, I'd like it more, but I don't deny that Wuwa, the only endgame I really like in Wuwa is pretty much holograms, but that's pretty much a one and done thing most of the time. And then beyond that, like, sure, maybe testing new characters on it. TOA is fucking boring as shit. It really is. It's not challenging. The bosses are always neutered. It's brain dead. I think Whimpering Waste has always been so boring. It's not fun. Now, obviously, this is a whale take, right? Obviously, I have a whale account, so I just go through TOA very easily. But even before I like did like super whale, and even when I did S0 testing with teams through TOA, it was still not hard. You could still stomp through TOA with an S0 team. Obviously, I don't know about the new middle second half with an S0 team, because I don't think I've ran an S0 team through that yet, but it's just like, it's really not that crazy. I think it would be more interesting if TOA bosses actually didn't get neutered and were like the hologram equivalents. Can you imagine if we got the hologram equivalents in TOA? That would be crazy. But like, it's like, you know, if you run into Monkey in TOA, the Monkey has like the moveset of a fucking like difficulty 4 hologram. It's dumb as bricks. It literally does the most simple generic moves. It doesn't do any of the special ones that the higher difficulty Monkey hologram does. I don't know why. It's just weird. Like, literally, my favorite things to do in WUA is literally hologram and hazard tower. When these two have something new come, like if a new hazard is out, it's like, oh my god, GOAT. If a new hologram comes out and a new challenge, oh my god, amazing. But if these two don't have anything new coming out and there's no new hazard tower, it's like, man, like whatever. Like, if WUA wants to be super player friendly, they can't make TOA scale too hard and like start doing HP inflation, right? Because then free-to-plays are just like lower spenders will struggle, right? So by keeping it like pretty player friendly, it makes the game mode stay relatively not too difficult. Whimpering Waste I haven't done in so long, so I don't actually know if it's actually still like pretty player friendly. They should do cosmetic reward mode that challenges whales. Virtual Crisis mode has been MIA for 4 versions now. Maybe they're cooking something. Hopefully, man. I don't know. Has it really been 4 patches since the last Virtual Crisis? Either way, right? We'll see. Like I said, I don't think any, like, whether it's Genshin, whether it's HSR, whether it's ZZZ, whether it's WUA, well, all these games go through fucking peaks and troughs. It's just whatever, you know? And then every single one of these player bases eventually, or like even like yapping at each other, it'll always just come back. Hire the guy who did your Harmony E6. So
learn over
I don't expect anything like
of cover
I expect like basically the same thing
in these games. That, as always, there's highs and there's lows. Doubly so in the gacha space. But when a patch comes along that...
You're missing the point. WUA's lack of endgame is so dogshit, it's not even a reason to pull new characters. Yeah, but isn't that like one of the points the like Giga WUA glazers use as to why WUA is so good? Because there's no HP inflation and there's no reason to want to pull for FOMO and stuff like that, and no predatory so like you have to pick and choose. Do you want it to be HP inflation? Do you want there to be FOMO? Because that's what perpetuates wanting new units, right? If you don't want that stuff, then it means you want it to be more predatory. So you got to pick a struggle here. Do you want it to be predatory or do you want it not to be predatory? If you don't want it to be predatory, then you got to just, you know, be happy with what you have. Because, like, don't get me wrong. I think as a whale, a little HP inflation would be nice. But that's because I'm a fucking disgusting whale. If I was free to play, I'd be perfectly comfortable with where the game is. Because, like, it's a slippery slope eventually if they start adding power creep to a point where it's like, holy shit, like I need to get that new character or else I can't clear this type of shit, you know? I think it's better that it's this way. I think if you're someone that wants there to be Giga FOMO, you're like a very small minority, in my opinion. I don't think the majority of people want Giga FOMO. I think majority just are okay with how it is. Maybe PGR is a decent example. Right? PGR has characters that get completely replaced until maybe they get a leap. And even if they get a leap, that leap isn't going to put them ahead of the newest character in that element. Right? So it's kind of sort of like that, but I'm not sure if it's to that level because I haven't played PGR in a good bit. But yeah.
Genuinely commands your attention, you'll come back and play it. At least a lot of us will. Most of us have a hard time accepting that these...
Bro, I swear to God, I thought his hat had the Arknight's support symbol on it. Am I crazy? I thought it was the Arknight support symbol.
These games were never meant to be played full time. I don't know why, but a lot of people think it's a good thing to main a gacha game. It's never a good thing to do this.
Oh, this is literally what I'm talking about, you know? Too many people just like make their lives around these games that are built to be played like maybe an hour a day at most, you know? The people that are like perpetually online, like don't know what to do besides logging onto their fucking favorite gacha game for 10 hours. It's like, bro, you know.
Just their entire structure and dynamic is meant to be played in moderation. And I would argue that moderation plays its role in all elements of life. But let's face it, guys, every good resource was poured into the finale, and every future good resource is being poured into 3.0. Now, as things stand right now, the second half of 2.7 and probably 2.8, I don't even think it's probably. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you 2.8 is probably. I'm so safe, I like saying probably. It is definitely going to be a continued drought. 2.7 second half going into 2.8 is drier than an Azir mid lane, a Sands of Time Echo Skin, Scorpion King, and Prince of Persia combined, bro. It is rough out
What is
here
bro yapping
in
about?
these woo-wash streets. The waves have dried up.
Oh, yeah,
My
League of
God, there's
Legends.
no waves. They are not wuthering. And you know what? It's okay. It's fine, in my opinion. Now I get it. There's this like duality right now of gaming where people that touch grass that don't have all day to play games are clashing with the unemployed or people who just don't have anything else going on in their life except free time to play games. And it's an interesting thing to always look at because, of course, one side's going to see it as it's fine. I can just go play something else. It's not a big deal. In fact, this works out perfectly for me because I got so many other things to do with my time. And
Yeah, okay, but like, see, my issue with, like, no, I guess it's not an issue. I think what, maybe Gacha Smack talks about it more there after, but like, bro, even if you're unemployed, this does not mean you can only play WUA. Like, have you ever thought that if there's nothing happening in WUA, you could play something else? I swear there seems to be some people that seem like they have like a gun pointed at their head, forcing them to play that one gacha game that they've made their entire personality in life. Like these people, as whether it be WUA, ZZZ, any of the fucking games, right? Like these people, like God forbid if they played anything else. It's like if they picked up another game, they fear that God himself might come and smite them. It's just like, I don't know. Like, why can't they just play something else? Like, legitimately, I feel like a normal person's reaction when a game that they like playing has nothing going on is to play something else. Right? Like, if you're someone that played a lot of League of Legends, right? You know who I played the most League of Legends with, chat? People in my MMO guild who we would have the MMO that we main, but if we had nothing to do in the MMO, we'd play League. And then if we had nothing to do on League, we'd hop on like StarCraft 2 Arcade. And then if we had nothing to do on StarCraft 2 Arcade, we'd hop on fucking something like fucking Apex or something, right? Like, this is like a normal person's behavior. If you're an unemployed gamer and you have nothing else to do, what you do is you play other things, right? Why do you just want to play one thing forever? Like, get a fucking life. Even as a gamer, bro, it's like there's a tier to gamers. It's like the normal gamer, right? The normal gamer is someone who will like probably just play whatever they want to. And if this thing that they want to play is not that fun, they'll go play something else, right? And then there's like the fucking deranged loser gamer who only wants to play this one game. And if this one game is not doing well, instead of going to play anything else, they'll just keep trying to play this one game and getting angrier and angrier. And like, do anything else, brother, please. USCZN? What do you mean? I'm not bored of CZN. Like, you trying to tell me it's me with CZN? Have I ever looked bored recently playing CZN? Not at all. I'm loving playing CZN every fucking minute. Like, sure, I get mad at it when I get bad RNG, but that doesn't mean I get bored of it, you know? You got angry? Does anger equate to being bored? If that was true, Tyler 1 should have quit League long ago. That motherfucker has been angry as fuck at League of Legends for many, many years, but he's addicted to fucking playing it. So anger does not equate to not wanting to play a game. Anger, more often than not, equates to passion for a game, right? So that's completely different. Reason why I don't get people making multiple types of accounts of the same gacha game, free to play and whale account, or redoing the story game. Yeah, I don't really understand why people do that either. I feel like the people who do make multiple accounts for one game
43
fall
years
under this
Shirogo
category of being
happy.
deranged. Like, legitimately, why do you want to play the same thing on 2 different fucking accounts? Just go play something else. Like, I get if you're a content creator. If you're a content creator, you're doing it for content, okay? But if you're, like, an actual just, like, normal person who makes multiple, whale account, free-to-play account, low-spender account, it's like, what are you doing? Go play something else. I don't know. Why? Yin, thank you for the 43 months. Thank you. I get people 2 servers for League because you need it for a gacha game. Why? Yeah. Should that advice concern you? What do you mean? Why? I don't have multiple accounts for any games. I don't do it myself, but I assume it's the same motivation that as players playing a new game plus run on a normal game. Okay, but I feel like that's such a different thing. Like, okay, I guess. Okay, no, that doesn't even work. If you have a whale account and then if you have a free-to-play account, I mean, I suppose it's like going for a completely different. I guess, but I just don't think gacha games are built for that. I think there's infinitely better types of games to do new playthroughs of, and gacha games are just like the most bottom feeder dog shit for doing new plays to get a new experience. I don't know.
And then the other side is going,
Speed
well,
laugh.
I want to play this
Hi, Wesley. Thank you for the
game
31.
more. I don't do this whole I want to play multiple games things. I want one game to main and that's it. And I don't think either side is wrong here, which means the developer is the one you got to point the finger at, right? Because if the developer isn't appeasing both sides with a formula that kind of appeases both, then it's a kind of a developer flaw. However, to play devil's advocate, an identity is an identity. You can't please everyone. We know this, right? If that were the case, well, people wouldn't be fighting over politics in real fucking life. There's always going to be a straight shot that needs to be fired. And for some people, it's going to be fired perfect. And for others, it's going to be a shit fire. And so you have to ask yourself, what am I playing Wuthering Waves for? If I'm playing it for replay value, I'm cooked. That's clearly not where they're going. It's just not.
Okay,
right? But if
there's
I'm
no way
playing
anybody's
it
playing
for
Wuthering or
story
Genshin for replay
and
value.
exploration, although I gripe on exploration, it's actually almost perfect exploration when you're playing it as you're playing through the story. If you're playing it for this, then you know precisely how long you're going to play this game for and when it's time to go and put your attention and focus elsewhere. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where I'm at. I gave up on the game's combat quite a long time ago. Now every now and then they cook a character so fucking thoroughly that it reignites a bit of a flame and passion in my soul, and I come back to the game and I say, oh, I gotta play Augusta. I gotta see this shit, bro. She slaps. And then I have my fun with her, and then I start I go down that rabbit hole of, okay, what else can I do with her? And then I'm easily and quickly met with that linear box, that linear predetermined way to play the character that both Wuwa and Genshin are known for doing, even HSR. And I'm like, okay, there's only one way to play the character. There's no build depth, right? I can't play this character several ways. It's playing with this character, that's it. Put this build on them, that's it. I don't have that second element of gameplay that's enjoyable for me, which is a build diversity, variety, and multiple ways to.
You know, I wonder if Smack would be saying half of this stuff if CZN didn't come out. Because I swear Smack is definitely a CZN glazer like me. And bro, you play a game like CZN where there's so much flexibility and build paths and what you can do with each unit, it makes other games feel flat, right? Bro, listen, you could say whatever you want about me and CZN. Bro's explaining what is Gacha for. Go play PoE 2 if you want to have build diversity. Well, no, not even that, right? Like, I saw people arguing on Twitter about fucking Genshin and WoW combat depths. I think both are fucking flat as shit. Like, I don't know why people are even arguing about that. Like, most of those motherfuckers arguing about, like, Genshin and WoW depth have literally peaked, like, silver in most fucking actual skill-based games. So they're like, I don't know why they're arguing on Twitter. Like, go fucking get better at a video game and maybe you'll understand what real depth is. But, like, they're all fucking idiots. Like, both games, I think, are pretty fucking flat. Like, there's, like, sure, there's some, like, animation cancels you could do. And both games have characters with animation cancels you could do to, like, you know, make the rotation a little bit faster, but the depths are pretty much match colors, fucking do elemental reactions. This character uses this build. Very few build diversity. Most characters in WoW just use the same fucking sets as well. Most of them, like, yeah, sure, I guess you could use, like, some other weapons, but, like, obviously they're, like, you know, their actual signature is always going to be just, like, their best. Team comps, yeah, there's a little bit of, like, variety you could do in both games, Genshin and WoW, but it's like, bro, there's always going to be just the best in slot team, right, for each. It's not that much. Like, it's not crazy, you know? I don't know why people argue with these games. I genuinely think, like, the depth in all of these major gacha games are pretty shallow. Like, it's not that crazy, you know? The combat depth drama is fabricated, all of them fabric to drama for click. Bro, I hope it's that. Because it just sounds like the stupidest fucking discussion ever. Like, I'm sorry. It actually just seems like the stupidest conversation. Like, they're all arguing about depth in a fucking single player fucking, like, actual Teletubbies fucking children's games, most of them. You know? Sure, like, WoW, I guess, isn't, like, Genshin level, right? Where it's, like, it's a little darker, but, like, it's still, like, nothing crazy, you know? It's literally just it's perfect gacha game does not exist and will never exist. I mean, who knows? Maybe it could exist, but, like, does a gacha game need amazing combat depth to be a perfect gacha game? I don't think so. Like, I don't know why they're trying to even make points as to why combat depth matters, right? I think I think a game could be really fucking good and be fucking really shallow combat depth wise. Am I wrong there? Like, as long as the game is fun to play, it doesn't need to be deep. Right? It just needs to work. And if it works, that's great, you know? I need good combat. Does good combat need to be deep? Like, can't you just enjoy, like, I'm gonna be honest. When I jump into Elden Ring and I just have a fucking club and I'm just heavy smashing motherfuckers, that's one of the most satisfying fucking things to do in video games. And that's not deep, bro. All I'm doing is jump heavy attack, and that shit is satisfying, but it's not deep. I'm not doing anything special. It's fucking great, right? When I do a fucking one-shot combo in Genshin and that shit fucking crits, oh my god, that's satisfying. When I fucking do a crazy fucking parry into, like, a fucking super rotation into, like, giant Cardathea fucking Fleur-de-Lis blast on WoW, oh my god, that feels so good. And I see, like, fucking 800,000 crit. But that wasn't hard to do. It wasn't deep. It's pretty fucking simple, but it's, like, fun and satisfying, right? That's why I don't understand what the argument for combat depth is. Like, does something need to be profoundly deep to be fucking fun? Like, we're not reading a fucking book here, okay? It's just supposed to be just fun, you know? I don't think it needs to be deep, right? I think the games that should have combat depth are turn-based games. Like, I think action games, especially if they're, you know, single player, they're like, they don't need to be that deep. They just need to be satisfying, right? I think turn-based games need to be deep. If turn-based games are not deep, then it's just, oh, what are we doing, right? So, yeah. Will you play Expedition 33? I plan to, yeah. It's supposed to be our next variety game after Higurashi, but HSR is not deep at all. Yeah, I don't think HSR is that deep. And I think that's, like, what a lot of the criticism that HSR has gotten over the years, right? But again, you want to know why it still works? You want to know why it still makes millions of dollars? Because the people that play HSR are not there for combat or the gameplay. They're there for the fucking characters. That's why HSR sells like hotcakes. the people that Hoyo has marketed their game to do not really care about the gameplay. Most of them just care about their parasocial relationships to these characters and who they like the most, you know? So
Optimize the character, right? It would be cool if I could go into Wuthering Waves and play Shuyin, not just with Galbrina for TOA or for Lova and Whimpering Waste, but I could put several
says you,
different
yeah,
sets
100%.
on them
I'm that person. I'm the person who I don't really need a game to be deep. If a game has really fucking hot characters, that shit might keep me around for a good long time. And just be like FGO, bro. Game is fucking stupid as shit, and I still go back once in a while to drop a couple $100 for no reason.
become a main DPS that performs just as well. Or I can put a set on him that makes me only use the skill because the skill gets some ridiculous amplification from playing that particular set. Or I put this other set on him and it amplifies his fucking Q to where his Q does a ridiculous amount of burst damage. And now you can go that. There's no nuance. There isn't. And so when you get on the game to play,
why don't you play Currency Wars and then talk about HSR gameplay? That game mode is actually really good. Okay, but like, see, you said game mode, right? We're talking about like core gameplay. A game mode does not make the core gameplay of a game, right? That's just like having a separate discussion. It's a game mode, not the main game, right? You're not playing Currency Wars to get through the first like 2 years of HSR, right?
these characters that they're dropping out, not only is there no build depth and no build variety, there's also very little gameplay content to really sink your teeth into that motivates you to want to really play these characters out when the patches are dead.
Hey,
you know, there's the TOA, there's the Whimpering Waste. It's been the same since fucking day one. The bones have been laid, but nothing has been laid. No foundation. I'm sorry, there's foundation, but there's been nothing laid on top of the foundation. It's just the same. It's the same shit. All right, it's like building a home, laid them somebody who really wanted the foundation, but I mean,
if it's fun, it's fun. No, 100%. There are plenty of fucking people who have a lot of fun with HSR, right? Just look at Mr. Poke. That guy, I swear to God, like, loves HSR. And I know a lot of people in the HSR channel in our Discord that love HSR. That's perfectly fine, right? Like, we're all completely different people. We don't enjoy things the same way, right? So just like there's listen, to this day, chat, I still find Genshin combat fun. Okay? And I know the war lovers in chat are gonna be like, what is he saying? Fucking, what is that Teletubby Goo Goo Gaga shit? That shit's boring. But like, I find Genshin, like comboing Genshin rotations into a big nuke, that shit's satisfying as fuck, right? Just the same way those people can't understand how someone can enjoy that in Genshin. It's the same way like some people can't understand how, like, let's say someone like Mr. Poke enjoys HSR. Right? People just have different fucking tastes. That's how it is, right? Just like I really fucking enjoy CZN, even though I hate turn-based games, right? There's people in chat that think CZN's like fucking dog shit slop. But I love it. I think it's so fucking fun, the roguelike aspect, right? It's just different tastes, man. So like, I'm not taking it away from people who genuinely enjoy HSR. I'm just saying from my opinion, I don't enjoy it, right? But like, I'm not taking it away from people who do enjoy it.
You never actually built the home. It's like, okay, well, there's no real motive there. You see what I'm saying? And I'm somebody who really wanted Shu Yin, but then I realized that if I pull on him, the fuck am I gonna do with him? Nothing, really. I skipped Galbrina. Didn't pull on her because I'm not giving this game $200 to do fuck all for the gameplay.
Damn. Low key though. All right, Wolf Frogs can flame me. I think he dodged a bullet skipping Galbrina, though. Bro, listen. I pulled Carlotta, right? Let's go through the characters and see that I really like playing. Carlotta, right? Cardathea, right? Brant. It was actually very fun. Brand Lupa was actually just unexpectedly a very fun team that I did not expect to like, right? Yeah, Peeb and Zani. Peeb was very fucking fun, right? And then going into Augusta really fucking fun. Galbrina felt like a step back from all of those I named. Maybe not so much Peeb and Zani, but like going from like Fleur-de-Lis Cardathia going from Augusta to Galbrina, it just was like, it wasn't really it, you know? Kind of felt like we were peaking, and then Galbrina was like, you know, I mean, she lost in her own trailer and needed the help, right? So, like, go figure. But, and, like, to be fair, I pulled Cho Yuan, and don't get me wrong, I think he works great in Frolova's team, right? The Frolova Cantarella team works really well with him. Like, he fills the slot that lets that team rotate the way it does, so that you could have a full DPS rotation with Cantarella and then nuke into Frolova as well. So, like, it works. That team's hella fucking boring to play, I'm gonna be honest. It's not fun. It's, like, probably the most unfun comp I've played in a while. Comparing it to, like, Augusta team comps, comparing to, like, Fleur-de-Lis, even Fleur-de-Lis' Arrow comp. Okay, if you removed Arrow Rover, God, please give her an Arrow Rover replacement, please. If they give us an Arrow Rover replacement, oh my God, bro, that Arrow team with Fleur-de-Lis is so fucking good too, right? Like, there's just so many fucking other comps that I'd rather play than the fucking Frolova Cantarella comp, because both Frolova and Cantarella do not feel that good to play. Chissa, maybe it's Chissa, who knows, right? I don't know, but dear God, please. But yeah, so I don't think Gacha Smack missed out on skipping Galbrina, and Cho Yuan is like, if you don't play Echo characters, as if you don't like Echo, which to be fair, I just don't think I don't even know if this is a hot take. I think almost all the Echo based damage characters in the game are really fucking boring. I'm sorry. Galbrina, boring. Cho Yuan, I mean, he's just an amp, essentially, so I can't really say. He's not like a main DPS, so I won't judge him too much, right? Frolova, pretty boring, right? Cantarella, pretty fucking boring. They're all boring to play, so, like, no skill equals boring. Okay, buddy? Okay, can we agree that the Echo-based characters have probably,
Thank you for
like,
this take because
I
it's
don't know, it's
100%
not
accurate.
they're not that fun, man.
Content creators and
It's not
Twitter
fun.
posts feed this behavior by expecting gotcha games to be something that they aren't. This mindset then permeates through the communities, which feeds this stupid tribalism. Not everything needs to be incredibly deep.
Yeah, man. Listen, I think people forget. A lot of us just sat down in front of our TVs and fucking watched SpongeBob and had the best times of our fucking lives. That shit wasn't that deep, unless you kind of look into certain things and there's, like, SpongeBob lore theories about, like, fucking some, like, crazy rabbit holes. But, like, when we were kids watching SpongeBob, that shit was just like, bro, I'm telling you, some of the most fun things in our lives as human beings are when we just turn off our brain and just, like, it's not deep, it's simple, and it's just funny and great, and it's, like, fun, you know? Like, you don't need it to be, like, you don't need to, like, sit there and be like, oh, yes, I, too, am a philosopher. I play Wuthering Waves. Yes, I don't play shallow games like Genshin Impact. We don't do that. Like, what? What are we? It's a fucking video game, bro. You're not a scholar. Like, shut up. What are you yapping about? Nobody thinks you're smarter because you play a fucking certain video game. Like, Like, this is why I really don't understand tribalism, people. They're just fucking so dumb. They legitimately think it's like, that's literally HSR fans? No, bro, that's literally every gacha fandom. It's not just HSR fans. It's every single one of them. They're all fucking stupid.
This makes
And obviously you could take this and probably apply it to every fandom ever, not just in gacha, but, like, obviously here we're just talking about the microcosm that is the gacha community, but yeah.
sound like I'm going in on the game, but I'm actually just being very honest and just trying to explain to people the reality of what.
You know what's funny, chat? You know what's funny? I actually, and maybe this is controversial to say, I actually think the least tribalistic gacha games are the ones that are actually deemed to be the most problematic. Like, I'm talking like Blue Archive. Like, you never see the Blue Archive fandom on Twitter, like, doing anything like this. They're just in their corner being fucking weirdos, you know? Like, genuinely, if you're playing a gacha game that has, like, insane degens and they're, like, considered to be, like, the weirdos, usually they're, like, pretty fucking tame. It's the ones that have this, like, weird fucking, like, greater than thou, like, purity, like, syndrome, where they're, like, they think they're purists for playing their games. Like, it's like those people that are, like, usually the weirdos, you know? As a ZZZ fan, I don't do that. Therefore, I am better and more sophisticated. Yo, no, that's the thing. ZZZ, I swear to God, ZZZ actually, of the 3 big Hoyo games, has the least problematic fan base. Because they're just fucking gooners, man. Why do you think that is? They're just there to goon, right? The other ones aren't there to goon. They're fucking there to be like, well, actually, this character is based on this realistic location that is 55 longitude, 72 latitude on the real planet Earth and needs to be this fucking, like, what are we, what do you mean? It, you know?
Waves is not to play it for combat.
Meanwhile, ZZZ fandom is like, can we get analysis on her titty size? How much milk can she produce in 1 hour? It's like, okay, like that's the difference. That's the difference in player base here. All right.
It for the story, and to be honest, it's to play it the same way you play Genshin. People look forward to the next Genshin patch, not for combat. That's just content creators constantly making guides for new players and people who actually think that shit is still worth watching. With all due respect, bro, put the blue set on the blue character, crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, or damage bonus, call it a fucking day, bro. It can't be that deep at 5 years later. There's no way. I don't mean to be a dick, but it's just kind of the truth. There's no reason to play Wuthering Waves or Genshin other than the new story is updating. And with that story, we get to see this cinema experience of exploration and progressing world building, as well as plot twists here and there. And once that's all done, you have a day to 2 to 3 to play this character that just came out. Half of the excitement is purely due to you just wanting to secure the character and FOMO. And then the other half of the excitement is it actually does, very similar to League of
Other
Legends,
gacha fandoms
feel
thinking
like
they
you're
are
playing
better
a
or
game.
different Waja, all gacha players and fandoms are dumbasses. Even if we don't give them money, we give them something more important, our time aware.
For the first time for a matter of 24 hours, and then it just fades.
Time is money,
then it just
motherfucker.
fades off into the dust. This is the nature of gacha gaming. You know what I mean? This is and I feel like the more people deny that nature but continue to play the game, the more you're going to be let down, the more you're going to get angry, and the more you're going to start to resent that very game. It's you can't turn a pig into an elephant, right? Unless you're living in world building of Harry Potter or something, then maybe you could do that. But you can't. It is what it is. This is the best time to say that phrase. It is what it is. I personally am looking forward to 3.0.
So when will you play Needy Girl Overdose? I actually already played that on stream.
I think 2.8 is going to be a severe skip, but I'm still going to play through the story. That way, when 3.0 drops, I can go straight into 3.0. But what I am not going to do is play these patches past the story until Wuthering Waves shows me, which I don't think they ever will. I think they're very similar to Genshin. Until it shows me that their gameplay is worth investing time in, I don't think there's any reason to pull on characters anymore either. Past, I love the character. Oh, I like their play style. Like, cool, you like their play style, but you're going to put that character away after 2 days. Because there ain't shit else to do with the game, you know? This was a conversation I wanted to kind of like update you guys on, because I've been getting people in my streams. Smack, are you going to do the Chuyin story? Are you going to pull on Chuyin? When are you coming back to Wuthering Waves?
Popcorn?
There's
What do you
not
mean?
a reason to come back to Wuthering Waves.
Bro, I think this is just people are maybe finally awakening to the long lost truth of gacha games. That right? Let's say this is the hierarchy. This is the pyramid of the things important to gacha games, right? Like at the top, we have characters. Characters are what sell. Characters are what you get people parasocial with. Characters are what you sell girlfriend experiences, boyfriend experiences, waifus, husbandos. This is at the top, right? This will always be the number one. Then, here, we'll say story. At the end of the day, I do think most of these gacha games do probably put story behind it. Because you want to know why I say story? Because story feeds directly into characters. You make the story to then help people become parasocial with the characters, and that basically feeds into
Unless it's Infinity Nikki. Got him.
it feeds into it. Then I think it's gameplay or combat. I think gameplay and combat is always going to be below these two. Because gameplay is not what sells most of the time for these gacha games. It's always the characters. And sure, good gameplay on a character can also help sell the character. But I think if you have an ugly bastard character in Wuthering Waves, if it has the best gameplay in the world, I don't think it's going to sell. Legitimately, if you have a fat fuck, ugly bastard tag from hentai, and he's got the most flashy fucking triple backflip, fucking reverse, like, I don't fucking know, cartwheel shit while he's fucking doesn't fucking matter. He's not gonna fucking sell because he's ugly, you know? He's ugly as fuck, right? Fat fuck sold real well in HSR. Okay, that's because you're not buying Ika, you're buying fucking Hyacinth, all right? But, you know, at the end of the day, right? That's why gameplay, I think, is always going to be third to this. And then, like, at the bottom is, like, fucking, you know, events and shit like that, right? But then, like, sometimes these could be even higher because sometimes they have event stories that tie into playing into the selling of these characters. Events and, like, etc., other shit, you know? But Eco would sell more than Hyacinth, bro. Oh, okay. Now that actually sounds interesting. Make it 4-star and people will eat it up. If I was pitching a new gacha game, okay. But, like, at the end of the day, you know, like, I think too many people are taking too long to realize. And I think outside of gacha, right, most other games, this thing is flipped, right? Usually in a lot of games, gameplay
Pyramids are built
story
from the
are
bottom, not from the top.
and then character is like probably somewhere in like second and third spot mixed in, right? It's like, actually, nah, this example is gonna not work. I was about to use Concord as an example, but Concord, it actually fits this mold perfectly as to why it failed. Concord has actually, from what I heard, the gameplay's not bad. From what I heard, the actual gameplay, it's fine, serviceable, like good quality. The issue is the characters are so unlovable. And because the characters are so unlovable, nobody gave a shit if the gameplay was decent because the characters were just like, literally they had a fucking recipe. They literally just had to copy Overwatch. And they couldn't. They just somehow failed to do that and just made the worst dog shit characters in the universe, right? So, like, you can't just have great gameplay, right? You obviously need great gameplay and good characters and story to go along with it. But I think most games outside of gacha, it's usually great gameplay and characters, and then story, depending on if it's multiplayer or single player, story might be like higher up or lower, right? I think on multiplayer games like Overwatch, right, I think gameplay and characters were definitely the top two and most important, but story wasn't that important because it was a multiplayer game. Whereas like a game, let's say like Expedition 33, I think probably gameplay and story might even be higher up, and maybe characters more like a third thing, but the gameplay and story is what really carries it more than actual like individual characters, right? So like, but I feel like most of the time in gacha games, gameplay is always like third or fourth in the fucking hierarchy of just importance, you know? So now it's all. Oh, for Expedition 33, it's perfect. It's game of the year. No, everybody vote Arc Raider.
Right now, guys, outside of doing the cheating story, which I'm sure I would enjoy, right? But there's just better ways to spend my time as a gamer right now. Right now, fucking A, bro. I'm gonna be honest, I'm so overwhelmed in a good way with playing video games.
Gacha games are typically RPGs. There are exceptions, but that's why character story are the most important, just like non-gacha RPGs. Yeah, but a lot of non-gacha RPGs have really well-built game systems, so Tasty Cookie. Like, you know?
for the first time in my channel.
Which I'm not saying the games that we have don't have good built game systems, right? But like, you know, they kind of get very repetitive and seem very similar and kind of get boring and, you know.
I played 4 different games in 1 month and covered 4 different games in 1 month. That is insane. That just goes to show you they're just dropping these fucking games like panties at a Chris Brown concert, man. You know, it's going crazy out here.
I don't get that reference.
I'm playing Duet Night Abyss. I'm playing Chaos Zero Nightmare. I'm playing Where the Winds Meet on the 14th. I played Blue Protocol and had to drop it because I was like, there's no fucking way I can play this MMO on top of Chaos Zero Nightmare and Duet Night Abyss. There's no way. And that's the game I'm least enjoying out of the 3. But don't get me wrong, I actually was enjoying Blue Protocol. I actually really was. I didn't drop it because it sucked. I had to drop it because I'm an unk. I ain't got that kind of time. And so with Where the Winds Meet dropping, I might have to drop another game. To be honest, I don't want to drop Duet Night Abyss. I'm genuinely enjoying it. It's giving me back that nostalgic feel of what it used to be like being a gamer. You got to grind for everything. You want something, play the fucking game, grind it, and you'll get it. There's no timer on it. You can grind it to your heart's content whenever you want to. There's a number of build varieties to play different characters and weapons and stuff. Well, melee weapons is a different story, but you know, I'm enjoying that game. And Where the Winds Meet looks like one of the craziest fucking cooks I've ever seen in my life. That's a whole different ballgame.
John.
And then at the end of the month, there's Arknight's Infield. There's so many avenues right now to play, and these games have content to play, right? Because they're fresh, they're out, they're fresh. And so it's like, play those games or play fucking dry ass Azir mid lane. I just watched League of World Finals yesterday, so excuse the League of Legends brain rot references.
Bro, Azir was permabanned. What are you talking about?
Azir mid lane ass Sands of Time Echo skin Wuthering Waves. You know, it's just pretty simple there. Yeah, this was a raw video. I intentionally told myself before I hit record I wasn't gonna edit shit out. Even if I have my perfectionist syndrome, I fucking hate when I have to stumble over my words or I like stutter or something. I'm actually very good at just going on tangents, as you could see. Probably got off track at least several times in this video, but I wanted you guys to understand, like, just from a place of
why are we both doing this?
Genuine honesty. I'm okay with Wuthering Waves being dry because there's so many other things to do with my time. I acknowledge that the hardcore players aren't content with the game, and I think it's valid too. But you know, it's one of those. Once again, it's one of those situations where you have to be honest with yourself and know that if, as a year and some changes pass by, if they haven't done what you wanted them to do, probably is never going to happen. And when it does happen, you will have been starved of the shit you wanted for so long that you're going to convince yourself that new content, because there always eventually will be some gameplay content. They always eventually.
All right. I mean, I'm pretty sure he kind of says most of the things I said. But like, I guess my issue is the people who are hardcore WoA players. What do you want WoA to do? EOS? No, because the question is, at replay value like CZM, bro, that's never happening. It's the wrong type of game. For them to create a replay value like that, it would have to fundamentally change the core gearing and gaming, like, game system, right? That just doesn't work. I mean, hey, they have their version of roguelike in WoA, but it's a game mode. It's not a main thing, right? So we want a dorm and dating sim. And how hard is that? I think that's pretty hard. You're asking a company to completely rebuild their entire game for a very small population of the game audience. You think, yes, Kuro should change their entire game for the 5% that are mad. I don't know. I think what's annoying recently is Kuro is releasing the best unlocked characters in the same patch, which is kind of annoying and expensive versus stretching it out between a few patches. Yeah, but like, it's not like you need those best in slot characters. Like, genuinely, what do you need those best in slot characters for? You know, like I think that's like what it's come down to. Like, what is getting that best in slot character like suddenly letting you do? Like, were you not able to clear something and then suddenly you got them? Now you can clear everything. Like, if you already have a pretty well built character, you can pretty much clear everything already. You know, like people have TOA clears with 4 stars. You know, so. Do you think CZN will make more than Epic 7? Yeah, I think so. Well, it depends if they can bring the South Korean audience to heal. If they can't, then they might not. Let me just use the 4-star replace for Nativa where. Yes, they should add additional skills and ults to every character. Last minute to do Uma 10 pull before 6-hour maintenance. More virtual crisis type endgame. I think as a whale, I'd be down for that. But like, I think all the people who have been glazing Wua for being so player friendly should not want that. Because it'll eventually create FOMO, you know? Because if free-to-plays or like lower spenders aren't able to, they keep getting these events where they can't max clear, and sure, even if there's no rewards to max clearing, you know, like, I think it's just a very human nature thing to want to achieve higher, want to obtain and be able to do things at a higher level, right? So like, it's naturally going to create a FOMO situation regardless.